Okay, so it's live. We're live on Face and YouTube. So, guys, if you want to join the conversation in the future, reach out to us that we can connect you on Zoom while we go live on YouTube. I am going to record in a second. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Dr. Neva with the Nevalliance. And as always, I have another superstar, right? Because everyone that joins the global business, they are superstars in their own right, in their own expertise. And today's just another Wednesday at noon where we have with us Joy Williams. And you know how I like to do it, where I have the individuals introducing themselves. But before we have her introduce herself, I want to let you know one of the reasons why she's here is because we are again doing the Black Business Month Mixer. And this year is going to be at Hofstra University, right? On Wednesday, August 6th at 5 p.m. And it's totally free, guys. So if you want to be in the mix, contact us. I'll send you the link because you do have to register. It is free, but I want you to register, right? That we can stay in touch. But Joy's gonna dive, just go right in and tell us about herself and a little bit more. Welcome, Joy. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I am, like Dr. Neva said, Joy Michelle Williams, and I am the CEO and founder of Soul Joy Wellness, as well as the Associate Director for Community Engagement and Initiatives at Hofstra University. So I wear two hats and really all together focused on um, making us more well all over. So mind, body, spirit, which also does include your finances. So I've
Of
yeah, because if your money's not right, that's a stressful thing. So
course.
yeah, I started this version of my company in 2019, and I started here at Hofstra last year. So I've been here basically a year and a month. So
Okay.
mhm.
Okay. And I know it's not, I don't think it's easy anyway, doing, handling two different roles because in both roles, you are in a leadership capacity, running your company and also running the EAC Center. So I want you to talk a little bit about the EAC Center at Hofstra University, how you work closely with inspired entrepreneurs, right? Because that's who you work with. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that, Joy.
So for both, I work with numerous people. So I think one of the things in the leadership role is to really like working with people. So I think
Mhm.
that's helpful. But for the EAC program, which is the Entrepreneurship Assistance Center program, I help to facilitate it. I teach one section of it on customer development, but really we have a team of people that come together and help people who are with an idea or they have a business and they want to accelerate the growth of that business. We help them move things to the next level, which in similar fashion is what I do for Soul Joy Wellness, which is I have a team of people that will do different wellness workshops or events. So for a variety of programming that we do. So it focused on physical wellness, mental wellness, spiritual wellness, financial wellness. So all of those things. So it could be a variety. So it's similar,
Mhm.
except I think the EAC program is more structured. It is a 10-week program, and the next session of it starts the last week of September. So it's a 10-week program that we do twice a year in the fall and the spring. So it's a very structured program with respect to that. So
Awesome. So, Joy, what are some of the most, impactful ways the center supports business development and, the types of transformations that you have witnessed from the individuals that come through the program?
I think it applies to so many different things that we're doing. So basically, it gives people the foundation. A lot of times, people start a business and they don't have the full foundation on their financials, on their marketing, who their customer that they're serving. So it gives that level of exposure, and at least people know that these things are things that they should be looking at. And it also focuses on the customer and forces people to talk to who their customers are. Often we have in our head what customers want. So in the last session, well, the first session that I did, I had my sister and her business partner as one of the teams who participated. And she was talking about how talking to some of her customers who are her friends, right? Some of her customers, she learned different things. So I think that is one thing that's really helpful for people. And then overall, I've seen people gain a level of confidence in their business. And I think that is one of the things that's really important is to be confident and in what you're doing, even as you're learning. So it doesn't mean being confident doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means that you can seek them out and that you can talk about your product, your service in a way that people understand what value you bring. I know the first session that we did, which was cohort 69, and they are venture visionaries, is their name. The winner was uh, Zarifa Dixon, who runs a law firm. So she didn't expect that she would win, right? It's phenomenal to see that she was really surprised, and it was good seeing her from her first time that she presented the pitch because we work on that in the sessions until the last time when she gave the winning pitch. So I think those things are really helpful for people, and to put them in a situation where we're comfortable helping each other and it's not so the stakes are lower as we go through the process, and then you have the fellowship, the community of other people that they provide feedback in addition. So I think those are things that are helpful.
Awesome. One of the things that you said, like she did not think she would win, and what came to my mind is like confidence, have confidence in yourself, right? Because I mean, whether you are in a business role or own your own small business, or you are a leader in a company, part of it is, having confidence and believing in yourself. So, which rolls into the next question I have for you, Joy. In your experience, what do you believe is a core component of effective leadership development, especially in today's evolving landscape? And before you answer it, Joy, guys, just know that you can definitely join in on the conversation on Wednesdays. Plan to do it on Saturdays, but for now it is Wednesdays at noon. And you could ask your questions in the chat if you have any questions. Yes, definitely. So with that, Joy, yes. And what is your experience? What's core, effective component for,
Yeah, so
leadership development?
so we're talking about leadership development, and one of the things is a self-assessment to really understand where you are and then to be coachable, right? So you can't get any better if you think you know it all already and that you're not listening to people. So you can take feedback and decide that it's not useful for you, but you have to be able to say, okay, here is where I am really, and these are the things that I need to do. And I think those are some of the really foundational parts of what you need for leadership development. And then the other thing is to always be improving on your communication. I think that a lot of things happen because we could communicate better. I know for myself, some things that are clear for me, and when people tell you that, oh, it's clear, like you have to make sure it's clear on the other side. So I think those are some of the foundations for leadership development.
Yes, for sure. Some people are just horrible with communications in the leadership positions. And I mean, that doesn't take away that they're, knowledgeable and they're experts in, what they do. But if you are not a good communicator, if you don't know how to follow up, or if you don't know how to tell people, the reason things didn't did work or did not work, depend on the situation, it could definitely be a hindrance to whatever you are doing. And it may pull you back to be a successful leader. But Joy, how do you think this apply? You're in a wellness field. So how do you think, this applies to the space that you're in? What daily or weekly wellness practice do you personally rely on to stay grounded and inspired as a leader?
To stay grounded and inspired, I listen to a lot of gospel music. I also do a lot of walking, and walking in the neighborhood, which is all really outside, is great for you. And walking at the
Mhm.
beach, having the sound of water, those are great things to do. And I like exercising. I'm going through a transition. I'm debating what I'm going to do next. But right now, I go to Orange Theory a good amount and walk a lot. So I said that I was going to run another marathon. I've run two before,
Mhm.
so I need to start running again. But but I think the things that keep me grounded is knowing that I actually don't have to do the same thing every day, but find things that I like doing and with community and friends makes it even more fun.
But why can't we do it every day? I've heard, I've watched some of these superstars where they feel like, okay, every day they're gonna eat, salmon. And yeah, some of the health routine, they stick to it. And every day, it's like you exercise every day, you eat the same food and veggies and everything every day. Not, so why do you feel like you have to change it up a bit? I'm just curious,
Well,
you're the
I think there are a couple of things though. You probably shouldn't eat the same thing every day because your body actually needs a variety of nutrients. And some of the things like eating salmon every day, you could increase your levels of mercury in your diet. So you don't necessarily want to overload on specific things. It's hard to make sure that you're getting clean processed things because even salmon in the wilds could have mercury. So you want to change your diet up, and there's whole nutrients and things in that variety. But you can have a regular routine.
Mhm.
So you can have a regular routine. That's not a problem. And for some people, that becomes boring. So when it becomes boring, you need to do something differently. And then also, if you have a different fitness goal, at some point your body gets used to it. So you need to change it up. So even if you're exercising every day at the same time, you'll change it up because you need to see different results. So you need to change. So even if you're running every day, or even if you're doing strength training, then after a certain point of time, you need to for strength training, either add weights, add repetitions, change the speed, and it just needs to change. So yeah, for the best results.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. All right, guys, if you are listening in live on YouTube, welcome. Yes, we're definitely recording this session and it will be replay on a certain locations. Brick TV will also be replaying it. Also want to tell you about Nevalliance, our upcoming International Women's Leadership Retreat. We are going to be in Jamaica. That is September 22nd to the 26th. And that's my birthday month. I just want to put that out there. Just
Happy
hinting at it.
birthday!
Yeah. No, not yet. We don't
I know.
celebrate till September, right? So the entire month of September is a celebration for me. But right back to it, Joy. Um, if your life had a wellness soundtrack, what's one song that would absolutely have to be on it and why?
Hmm. Well, yeah, I had to think about this. So one song that I go to often is actually pretty old. So in keeping with the theme of gospel music, it would be "Speak to My Heart," which is a Donnie McClurkin song from 1996. So it is really the words are "Speak to my heart, Holy Spirit, give me the words that will bring new life." So sometimes it's for me, and then to make sure that what I'm giving out is helpful as well. So yeah, so I like that song. I sing that one a lot, but it would be a mixture of music for my wellness. Some gospel and some secular. I Janet Jackson, Whitney. Jill Scott, a whole group of folks. So yeah, that. And then on the gospel side, Mary Mary, and even some more contemporary um,
Mhm.
gospel as well. So, or more current.
So you feel those, you feel those gospel music can make you be more health conscious?
Yeah,
Or
because they're positive songs, right? They're positive songs that put you in a positive frame of mind. So if I were feeling like I'm particularly challenged in life, because sometimes there's some challenges going on, I have had times where I listen to gospel music all day when I'm doing something. Yeah, I definitely think that. I think the music can be encouraging, and other songs, um, are encouraging and uplifting. So yes, I definitely think it can help raise your mood and raise your perspective. Yeah, I definitely think so.
yes, yes, yes. So, earlier we touched on the Black Business Month mixer, right? So you want to tell the those that are listening, watching, whether live or recorded, what it's going to be about, who is going to be there, what should they expect based on your
Yeah.
knowledge?
Yes. So I'm excited about partnering with you to bring that to the Columbia community and the surrounding community. So we are focused on opportunities on Long Island. So there will be a number of businesses there as well as other, we'll be inviting some of our legislators as well. And we'll have a panel talking about opportunities on Long Island. So we're excited about that opportunity. So for an individual person, I think sometimes when they come to business mixers or networking events, they might feel that it's a lot, but think of the opportunity to talk to people on an individual basis and to build relationships. So, networking is really a chance for you to build relationships with people, to learn more about them and them to learn more about you, and in the possibility of having work in the future. So, there'll be other vendors there, and there's still an opportunity for people, if they want to be vendors, to become vendors. So, I think it's a great opportunity for us to come together and celebrate where we are and then how we can all continue to grow and develop our businesses in the changing climate and changing environment. And that is changing in so many different ways, just not political, technology, the generative AI. So it gives us an opportunity to discuss what's on our individual minds and then collectively figure out what we think we can do as a community.
So, I want you to touch on who, because we have a panel, right? You're moderating the panel. And I want to say thanks, Hofstra University to sponsor this event. Before last year, we did it in Nassau Community College, and I appreciate their sponsorship then. And now it's at Hofstra. Then you came out to the one last year, and like definitely let's do this again, bring the community out. And we have, you're of course more than a moderator, right? Because you are the EAC Center is a main part of
Mhm.
this program this year. So, and again, that is Wednesday, August 6th at Hofstra. It's going to be at the Student Center there and from 5 p.m. to 8. So, no excuses, guys. There's a huge time frame there, 3 hours that you can stop and stop by and, connect. You never know who you will meet. So I know you kind of glide Joy over who is going to be there, but I want you to touch a little bit on the panel. So far, we're still building the panel, guys. We're still waiting for, other confirmation, but so far who
Mhm.
you have and the legislator, the political figures that are confirmed thus far.
Well, let's see. I know we have Dan Lloyd from Minority Millennial, and he is also runs Accelerate Long Island, which is helps businesses grow on Long Island. So that's a perfect. And we have the head of the
Chamber
Hempstead
of
Chamber of
Commerce.
Commerce. Yes.
Yes, 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 yes,
So
yes.
yeah, I need to pull this up because but you can help me before I
Yeah,
get
yeah,
my
yeah. So
name
that
drawn.
is Dr. LaShawn Lukes. She is the president of, Hempstead Chamber of Commerce. And we're, the reason why, when we look at or put panels together, we're really looking at individuals that can make an impact because the theme around it is this year is, opportunities on Long Island. Because what we find is like sometimes we're such in a bubble that people don't know what's going on or what's upcoming, what's, the development that might present. So they're not aware of it. So yeah, yeah. So Joy, what do you hope we can get from, this business mixer?
Hmm. Well, I think there are a lot of opportunities on Long Island in general. I do think being in this role in running the Entrepreneurship Assistance Center program, I think a lot of people don't know about that. And then there are things for new businesses and other services that people have that are available. And I also think that we in our community underutilize our chambers of commerce, and there's a lot of business that will be happening in Hempstead and the village of Hempstead. So
Mhm.
there's work that's happening in the village of Hempstead, the town of Hempstead. For those of you familiar with Long Island, so there's a village that's smaller, the town of Hempstead, and all of Nassau County. But there's business and work that's happening in Suffolk County as well. So I think it will give us a chance to hear a little about what those things are happening and to connect people more to resources and to expand our thinking on how we should do some of these things. So I think that it will be really helpful for people who haven't really connected into this ecosystem and give them an opportunity to think what can they do to leverage where they are to grow their business and to be even more successful than they are right now.
Definitely. Well, thank you, Joy, for this. We do have a few individuals on the webinar setting. So, yes, this is a podcast, so I'm using webinar setting. So, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat. This is your time. Um, in the meantime, Joy, while I see if there are any questions that comes up, one of the things that you mentioned earlier, and I just want to touch on where you said that um, you equate what wellness to wealth, and I'm curious, what do you mean by that?
So you have to be well in all of your areas of life. So if you don't have enough money to survive, right, that it changes your focus on what you're doing. And if you have enough wealth in money, in time, and talent and treasure, that you can be generous and share that. And you can be helpful. You can be more helpful when you have more than enough for yourself. So it does provide wealth. It doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be extra rich, not opposed to it. You can be that as well if that's what you want. But not having enough finances is and not having control of your finances makes your life more challenging. So high blood pressure makes your life more challenging as any other chronic condition or any other acute health condition. So we also, when we talk about physical wellness, we also talk about our mental and spiritual wellness. So if you are stressed about your money, it is causing a negativity in your mind, right? So all of those things go together. So we take a holistic approach to all of it. So even though people are creating a business, sometimes they get so focused on one aspect or the money of it all that they've created a job for themselves that taxes them even more than the job they left that they went after for this freedom. So you have to balance these things or and not necessarily balance, but you still have to make a mixture of those things to create the situation that you want, the life that you want, and the abundance in all those categories.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for that, Joy. All right, guys. So again, we are here on Wednesdays at noon, and I'm going to start up Saturdays because it seems like a lot of individuals want to be a part of this conversation. And if you want to be a part of this conversation, if you think you are a dynamite and you have something to share, because I like superstars. you can definitely go to Neve Alliance, NEV Alliance, one word, and look under the podcast section and sign up, and we will reach out back to you to follow up with you. Also, I mentioned International Women's Leadership Retreat in September. So, guys, check that out. Joy, it was a pleasure having you here. Do you have any last words for our audience and how they can reach you?
Sure. Well, thank you. It is a pleasure being here. So they can reach me any number of ways. If you are trying to find me at Hofstra, my name is Joy Williams, so it's joy.williams@hofstra.edu. And if you're trying to find me at Soul Joy Wellness, so there's Soul Joy Wellness on Instagram. It's actually on any platform that you're looking for. It's Soul Joy Wellness, and in those things, it's all one word. So look for me there. And yeah, I'm easily accessible. And if you are trying to build your dream and you haven't gotten started, coming to the mixer is a great place to start. And if you're trying to accelerate your dream, it's a great place to be as well. So look forward to seeing as many of you at on August the 6th between 5 and 8 p.m. Looking forward to it.
Definitely. Yes, yes, yes. All right, guys, that is it for now. Again, NEV Alliance is the website. It is right there. You see the logo. Can't miss it. Just Google it, find us, and stay connected. Until next time, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.